Okay, so we are going to put to use what we just talked about, which is using depressed polynomials to completely factor. So in this case, we're going to learn a little bit more about a question like this a little bit later on. That's why I gave you the hint to use factors of 6. So if we think about 6, that's going to be something like 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. So I could have plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and plus or minus 6 as factors of 6, right? So I'm going to pick one of these. Let's try 1 and see what happens. And I also notice I'm missing an x squared, so I have to add in a 0x squared here. So I'm going to have 1, 0, negative 7, and 6. So if I drop my 1, 1 times 1 is 1, plus 0 is 1, and then I get 1 here, negative 6. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6, and I actually got lucky. I didn't look at the answer, and I found the 0, okay? So this is x to the 0, x to the first, x to the second, and just doing that double check, we went from a power of 3 to a power of 2, so I needed that 0. So I can now say that my function is equal to x minus my divisor, which was 1, times my new depressed polynomial, which is x squared plus x minus 6. Okay? So now that I've got it down to a quadratic, I can do the big X and say what multiplies to give me negative 6 that adds to give me positive 1. So I'm going to let you think on that for a minute. So I know that I want to deal with 3 and 2, and I know I want their product to be negative. So one of them has to be negative. So since this number is positive, my bigger number is positive and my smaller number is negative. So that means that my function, that cube function there, is going to be my original divisor, x minus 1, times, and then what we get here, which is x plus 3 times x minus 2. And it did say find the factors, not the zeros, so the factors are the binomials. Okay. Again, I'd love to say any questions, but okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. So if you need to keep writing things down, I would pause the video. So looking at the next one, the hint would be to look at factors of 10. So we look at 10, that's 1 times 10, and it's 2 times 5. So we would look at things like plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5, and plus or minus 10. And again, we'll learn more about that in an upcoming session. All right, and 3, 2, 1, 0, we are good. So let me try 1. I always like trying the easiest number first. So I've got coefficients of 1, negative 2, negative 13, and negative 10. So we get 1 times 1 is 1, plus negative 2 is negative 1, times 1 is negative 1, plus negative 13 is negative 14, times 1 is negative 14, and then plus negative 10 gives me negative 24. So that didn't work out so well for me. So let's try another one. What if we tried something like negative 1? And then just remember, this is really the y value. It's saying what is the y value when x is equal to 1. So if we wanted to, I could say that there is a point of negative 1 comma 24 on that graph, just to let you know. All right, so when I do this, I get 1, negative 1, negative 3. We get positive 3. Negative 10 times negative 1 gives me positive 10, and that sum is 0. So I got lucky. So we're going to say that the original function, that cube function, is equal to x minus negative 1. So minus and negative really just means plus. And then times this depressed polynomial. So again, I went from a third to a second power, so I know I didn't skip anything. And so this is times x squared minus 3x minus 10. And then we would say plus 0, but I don't need to. So then I'm going to ask myself what multiplies to give me negative 10 that adds to give me negative 3. So that last number goes up top and the middle number goes on the bottom. So hopefully you're thinking 5 and 2, but maybe you're not sure which one gets the negative. So notice this bottom one says the sum has to be negative. So that means the bigger number is negative. So that means that we now have x plus 1 times x minus 5 times x plus 2. And that is considered fully factored. All So again, pause if you need to, but I'm going to move forward to the next page. And so this one is a little bit different. So this one is saying, what if I want to figure out a k value here so that when I'm done, my remainder is 0? So I don't know what this term is. I want to determine it, right? So we're going to divide just like we have been. So the opposite of -2 is +2. I've got perfect descending order of 3, 2, 1, nothing. So my coefficients are 1, 6, and then we get -k and -8. And so again, when we're done, the whole point is to find out what k would be equal to. So if I drop the 1, we get 2 times 1 is 2, 6 plus 2 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, and then we got to be careful because these aren't like terms. So when I add them, I get 16 minus k. And so then if I multiply that by 2, I have 2 times 16 minus k, and then I'm going to add in that -8. So I end up with 2 times 16 minus k, and then minus 8. And if you want to start simplifying along the way, that's totally fine. And then remember, we want that remainder to be 0, so we want this to equal 0. So ultimately, and I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 2, I want 32 minus 2k minus 8 to be equal to 0. So 32 plus -8 is equal to positive 24. So then if I subtract 24 from both sides, I get -2k is equal to -24. And then dividing by -2, I get k is equal to 12. So if I go back in here and I plug in a 12, let's see what happens. So remember, it's the opposite of k, so the opposite of 12 is -12, and I'm hoping to get a remainder of 0. So if I drop the 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 6 plus 2 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, -12 plus 16 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, and I get a remainder of 0. So I have checked my answer. Okay? So again, if you need to catch up, go ahead and pause the video, and I'm going to flip this. So on this last one, it's the same problem. I've got this k value right here, and I want the remainder to be 0. So we're going to solve for k to find a remainder of 0. So please pause the video and give this a try. So the opposite of positive 3 is -3. And then I've got powers of 3, 2, 1, and nothing. So my coefficients are 1, 3, -k, and -24. So I'm going to drop the 1 and we get -3. When I get that sum, I get 0. So -3 times 0 is 0. -k plus 0 is still -k. Negative times a negative is a positive, and 3 times k is 3k. And when I add those together, I get 3k minus 24, and those are not like terms. And again, I want that remainder to be equal to 0. So I could add 24 to both sides, and I get 3k is equal to 24. And then dividing both sides by 3, I get k is equal to 8. So let's double check that. If I put -3 in my corner, and then remember it's the opposite of 8, so I have -8 here and -24. So I'm going to drop my 1. -3 times 1 is -3. That sum is 0. And then times 0, I get 0. The sum is -8. I get positive 24. And the remainder is 0, just like I wanted it to be. All right, so hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you have in class.